look like I've been drafted. A huge representation.
What's up? Welcome to another episode of Concrete Reality TV. This is our off-season podcast. You know, we figure we go hard and get ready to get this Rocket draft up and running. Got that boy Gillum. What up, though?
H-Town, baby. In the building.
So, Gillum, Rockets got number 3 pick, man. If you don't understand, we all H-Town all day, every day. So we got that number 3 pick, and we trying to figure out what we gonna do. Gillum say we need some size, we need some rebounding. I don't know.
We need some rim protected. Rim protected.
Welcome
we
to the
definitely
2024
do, still
NBA
think we
draft
need,
presented by
they say we're gonna
State
pick the white
Farm.
boy.
This year's draft class.
Shepard, Reed Shepard.
I'm sorry, I can't say white boy.
Look, I love a tuxedo.
I gotta say his name.
Stephon Castle. I love that he has a castle.
You gotta pick up Reed Shepard, huh?
Yeah.
Shepard going nice class.
There he is right there.
Jay Billis.
Reed Shepard right there.
Really, Rob Dillingham. This is
So we got Reed Shepard. Who else we looking at? Klingen.
Yeah, Klingen. Here we go, baby.
All right, so they about to bring it up. Commissioner stepping on the
Good
podium.
evening and welcome to the 2024
Atlanta is on the clock.
NBA draft.
I predict
As a new
Ricochet.
class of players enters the league
first pick in the
tonight,
draft.
You say who you going
reminded
for?
of two giant
Ricochet.
star games
Ricochet.
who we recently lost.
Yeah, I can see that.
Jerry West.
I mean, but
the number
Sarr,
2
they say
pick
that he's
in the
supposed to be number 1 pick.
1960 NBA draft.
He didn't work out for
Bill
them, though.
Walton, who was selected number 1
We'll see.
in 1974. Jerry played in 9 NBA finals and won 9 championships as a player and
Okay, so it
executive.
depends on which one we
Bill won
want.
2 championships at UCLA and 2 more in the NBA. Both were named one of the 50 greatest players in league history. They were 2 very different people. Their backgrounds, their personalities, their interests, and their style of play, all strikingly different. But what connected them was their shared love and devotion to the game of basketball and their dream of playing in the NBA, the same dream that bonds this year's draft picks. Like Jerry West and Bill Walton, all the players selected tonight have their own unique story that led them here to the draft, a culmination of years of hard work and dedication. The draft, of course, is also an important night for our teams. Look no further than the Boston Celtics, the reigning NBA champions.
I knew that. I knew that wasn't going to go well in New York.
And Jason Tatum with the 3rd pick. 2 players who became all-stars and then led their team to its first championship in 16 years. Congratulations again to the Celtics on a record-setting 18th NBA title.
Oh, really? Okay. No, you're good.
Fans here in Brooklyn and watching around the world.
Oh, okay, got it.
Thank you for your support
Perfect. All right,
throughout the
thank you.
season. We wouldn't be here without you.
Yeah, I knew they was going to boo that. I knew they was going to boo that ass when they stayed at New York.
The first pick in the 2024 NBA draft belongs to the Atlanta Hawks.
Okay.
We have 5 minutes to make
The Hawks on the
selection.
clock.
Hawks on the clock. So you call
Ricochet, baby. Ricochet.
Ricochet.
Yep.
Buckhead to Bankhead. Atlanta's on alert for a place where parties don't stop till 8 in the morning. Who will they be celebrating tonight as the number 1 pick is the question. You said the Atlanta Hawks watch party there. But Richard,
They watch party. Wow.
A little trip down memory lane for the Hawks here. The St. Louis Hawks. They won the franchise's first and only NBA championship in 1958 with Bob Pettit being the star player. Pettit also won the inaugural NBA MVP.
Okay, so they got the final
previous year. And then in May of
NBA
1968,
draft.
the St. Louis Hawks relocated the franchise to Atlanta.
They got
The
number
first
1
the
Hawks
had the number
taking
1 pick was in
Ricochet.
1975.
I'm
They
sorry.
selected David Thompson
How do you
from
pronounce
NC
his name?
State, but
Ricochet.
opted
No,
for
Ricochet.
NBA, where he was also
Ricochet.
drafted number 1.
Yeah,
and decided to
Ricochet.
play out
Because it's
west
Risaccher.
Atlanta, though, like
Yeah,
Dominic
Ricochet.
Wilkins was starting for the franchise.
Ricochet.
He's the franchise's all-time
Ricochet.
Yeah, Ricochet.
scorer, nicknamed the
Ricochet.
human highlight reel for a reason.
They gotta
He
be
also won
Ricochet.
2 NBA slam dunk
Because it's
contests. In the last 10
Risaccher.
seasons, though, the Hawks have made the East
Ricochet.
Finals twice. once in 2015, of course in 2021. But over the last 3 seasons, they've not won a playoff
Okay, so who
series.
we
It's
got
been
them
almost 50
taking,
years since the
or
Hawks have had the #1 pick
they
in the
could
draft.
take
But
Alexander
finally,
Sarr.
this May, that's why the watch party is so
They got us
packed. The
taking
Hawks
Reed
won
Shepherd.
the lottery. They had just a 3% chance
They got
to
Donovan
do so. But
Clingan
really,
falling
Richard,
down to number
there is
6.
a laundry list of things that the Atlanta Hawks need
Wow.
to decide on as a franchise. They're on the clock
They're
right
saying the
now.
Spurs
We will
taking
see
Steph
Charlotte
Curry
number
out
6,
there.
ain't he?
select #1 overall. But the backcourt
That's my guy right there.
of Trae Young
I like Stephon Castle too.
and DeJounte Murray, that's really a decision they're going to need to make.
He is.
It
He's
is
a guard.
It
Shooting
is a
guard.
decision. When you look at
Or
DeJounte
forward.
Murray and what they gave up to get him,
No,
they
he played
not
it.
bringing
He
in
played
all
it forward.
defensive level guard in to pair with Trae Young, but it just hasn't worked the way they want. And then when you look at there's conversations out there about what's the market for Trae Young, and that puts Atlanta in a very difficult spot. Do you try and continue to build around these two? Do you move one? Do you go with the best player you can, or do you go with a player that might fit their talents?
Right.
That is the complicated spot that Atlanta's in, and that's what we're all waiting to find out.
And if it is Zachary Ricochet, as Adrian Wojnarowski reported that they were
Ricochet.
zeroing in on here today, he fits their 3 and D sort
Ricochet.
of need because Atlanta really struggled defensively last year.
He checks a lot of boxes in the versatility category on both ends of the floor. He's a really good team defender. He's not a spectacular NBA athlete, but he's athletic. And he does a lot of things on the offensive end. He can shoot.
I don't
He's
like
an
when they
excellent
say that.
cutter. He's very good in transition and a good
You say
passer. And I
what?
think he's got a fair upside. But Atlanta also needs rim
Can you
protection.
mute them?
And there are a couple
Yep.
really good rim protecting big guys in Alex Sarr and Donovan Clingan that certainly would have to be considered there as well. But it sounds like Ricochet is a
Ricochet.
player that they're really, really interested in at #1.
Well, it looks like they just made some sort of pick. A call has been made. Congratulations are already going
Here we go.
around in the Hawks
Here we
draft
go.
headquarters.
Well, I talked to Landry Fields
All right,
last week,
let's see what
GM
we
of the
got.
Hawks, and he said the Hawks right now, they don't have a style of play. Things feel very disjointed in Atlanta. Trae Young
So you
makes the
said you
basket,
wanted to mute
but it
them?
doesn't necessarily lead to the team's success.
No, not now.
Not them. Okay.
Like when they make the pick, we can mute them. We can
Don't
talk
know
about
what
it.
to cheer for
Okay.
at times. Whoever they just got really excited about picking, it's going to lean to a style and hopefully the team being more unified out there on the court.
Yeah, and to Jay's point, they need rim protection. They're 27th in defensive efficiency, 24th in defense on on-ball screens,
Boy, they
29th in transition defense,
it's
and
opinion,
25th in
man.
rim protection.
Okay.
This draft is just crazy.
What is that? Abnormal.
All right. So
What
looks
happened?
like the pick is about to be in. Okay, pick is in for the Hawks.
Mhm.
Dylan, you say that they about to pick up
If
Ricochet.
the Hawks, if the Hawks stay clinging, the draft is really about to get crazy.
Oh, now they're saying that Jonathan Reed
Mhm.
is at number 3.
Mm.
Wait, so the draft
I'm
is
telling you,
in
If it's
is in
clean.
where?
it's in New York.
Okay.
It just started. We good. It just started. The pick is in. Who we got? I'm telling you, if they just went off the beaten path, it's gonna
That
be
ain't gonna
crazy. I'm listening.
ATL out here in Atlanta, even though I am not a Atlanta Hawks fan.
You just live in Atlanta, just like I just live in California.
Yeah. Yep. My body is in Atlanta. My heart is in Houston. Yeah. Okay. Pick is in.
All day long, baby.
With the first pick in the 2024 NBA draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Zachary Rizache
Yeah,
Lyon, France, and France's JL Boron-Bress.
okay. So far going to plan. That means your boy Stars
Going
going
around
second.
for the second straight year. A player
Allegedly.
representing France goes #1 overall.
Allegedly.
Zachary Risache, the 19-year-old, is headed to Atlanta. He says that as long as he can remember,
Ricochet.
he was in the gym. His dad, of course, was an Olympic
Risache.
silver medalist with France, a 6-time French League All-Star. His sister was the MVP of the U16 European Championship
sister
last
ball
summer.
too.
And fellow Frenchman Victor Wembanyama, he says that he probably doesn't know anybody more talented than Zachary Risache in this draft, Jay.
Well, we talked about his versatility, Malika. He's a
All
two-way
right.
wing that is a very confident shooter. He shoots just under 40% from three, and he's rangy on
Damn.
both ends of the floor.
That's nice.
I like the way he moves without the ball, and he can cut off the ball. And with Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, that's going to be an important factor. He's talented and has a lot of potential. I wouldn't call him an explosive athlete, but he's a good athlete, and he's not really a creator, but he's a talented player that can play on both ends of the floor for the Atlanta Hawks.
We've talked about
Well, we know
Atlanta and their
potential means-
defensive struggles. Zachary Risache is an active, intelligent
That means
defender.
it,
He's enthusiastic
it's a
on that side,
possibility.
and he can defend one.
Yeah,
through four,
stuff
so
that
he
ain't happened
also
yet.
helps Atlanta's defense. He's electric in transition. Who can run with Trae Young
Possibility.
if they keep track?
Of course, he's the recipient of the Best Young Player of the French League this past season as he gets his moment with the commissioner, Adam Silver. Let's bring back in our draft expert, Jonathan Gavoni, to walk a little bit more through his game.
Malika,
You
every
can put it on
NBA
the-
team is looking for a wing player like Zachary Risache. 6'10" in shoes, 8'11" standing reach with an excellent frame. Has a feel for the game, competitiveness, and versatility defensively to guard all over the floor. His team, JL Bourg, had the #1 ranked defense in the French League and Euro Cup. They asked him to guard everybody from point guards to power forwards. You don't see this very often from a teenager playing
Okay,
against this
so he
level
balling. He
competition.
know how to play defense.
45 dunks this season, more than any wing player in this class. 39% three-point shooter. Risache started in a
Not
EuroLeague
bad.
game as a
So he can shoot.
16-year-old.
That's why they
He
picked
needs
him
to
up.
improve his ball handling and shot creation to become more than just a 3-and-D role player like he mostly was this season, as well as add strength, which should come in time. I've been watching Risache since he was 15. I love this pick from Atlanta. He's been #1 on our board all season. Quite a few NBA teams told me they have him #1 on their final
So do
board
you
as
think
well.
that the
Well, Risache, he says, Jonathan,
was
that
that
he will do whatever
Washington
it
think
takes
Washington gonna
to be
stop
great,
some
and now
people and
he's
go
headed
away from what
#1 overall to the
what
Atlanta
everybody
Hawks.
saying they
It's
should
actually
do?
the 7th time a player has been
Well-
drafted #1 without a college background, and you can just see the
They need
international
rim protection,
flavor
too.
that we have seen at the top of the draft
So that-
in the last couple of decades. And now Zachary Risache is with our Monica McNutt.
Zach, the second year that a Frenchman goes #1 in the NBA draft, and I saw you smiling
Maybe-
as we took a look at the
maybe,
scene at State Farm
Washington
Arena,
will
your new
pick
home
up-
arena. What are you thinking about joining the Atlanta Hawks?
I think they might pick up Klingon.
That's a blessing, you know. So exciting. There's a lot of like feelings and emotions right now. So I don't know what to say, but that's definitely special. And I'm so blessed by the 3 years that all the work that I've been through, and all my family is here. I'm so happy to have them here, my friends, and like this is amazing. I don't know what to say. That's special.
You got it. It's very special. Congratulations, Zach. We'll send it back upstairs.
Monica, thank you so
Well,
very much.
so we got number
Congratulations
2
to Zachary
on the clock.
Risache.
We
Hearing
got
from these players in the
Washington.
moments after they are drafted,
And it looks like
it is
their
one of the
consensus
best
mock
parts
draft is
of this
Alexander
night. Zachary
Starr.
Risache headed to the Atlanta Hawks, and now the
Unless
Washington Wizards.
they blow up the
are
spot
on
and
the
end
clock.
up
Really,
going
the
with-
question for the Wizards is what is next
with
in
with
this
Klingon,
rebuild
Donovan
that
Klingon.
they
We'll
are
see.
going through. This is an organization very much in flux.
Oh,
with
Shepard.
Bradley Beal and John Wall. They went
I don't
18 and
think
67 last
Washington
season. in the
need
worst record in
any
franchise
guards,
history.
or they're just
Kyle
going after
Kuzma,
the
though,
best
was
pick
one of their bright
available.
spots, averaging just over 22 points a game.
I don't even know what they got on that team.
And of course, they hired
Let me
Brian
look.
Keefe, removing
So
the interim tag there as head coach after firing Wes Unseld Jr.
Washington.
mid-season. So, Richard, when you're looking at the Washington Wizards here, you're giving me a look. What? What kind of look that you're giving me?
The Washington Wizards need a lot of help.
Yeah,
Any
they
player
do.
that they have the opportunity to get, they are a team that even when I played 5 years ago, they were still searching. They obviously moved on from Bradley Beal.
They
I
got
feel like it was a
nobody.
year or two late. So they move on from Bradley Beal.
got
so now
Jordan Poole.
Kyle Kuzma's a good
That's
player.
probably
They
the
have
best player
talent,
they got.
but they are so far away. They are in a very different
Oh, and they
position
got
than, let's say,
Kyle
the Atlanta
Kuzma.
Hawks that have two
Oh, he's
legitimate
terrible.
all-star caliber players on
And
their
then
team.
Marvin
we should
Bagley
mention
the
that Washington
third.
also picked up the 14th
plays
pick.
for
Terrible.
Wojnarowski reported just a
What
little
about
bit
Eugene
ago, so they're going to be
Umaruyi?
picking again in just a
Terrible.
little while here. But since Richard's saying it's top to bottom, there's a
Rashawn
whole lot of
Holmes.
things that the Washington Wizards need some help with. Let's try to help them out here, Jay. Who do you see from this draft
Okay,
class as a
they
fit?
don't have.
Alex Sarr.
Okay.
Also
They ain't got
from
no big
France.
men.
Alex Sarr played.
They got forwards,
pro basketball
guards.
basically from age
They ain't got
14.
no center.
Played in Spain,
So,
then got to overtime
They
elite,
picking a center.
and then to Australia. But
Mhm.
with his
Yeah,
shot
they
blocking
picking Sarr.
ability, I think he could be
They don't have no
an
big man.
all-defensive team
No paint.
member in the NBA.
So let's
They
see
need-
if
they need
Alex Sarr
everything.
is in fact headed
But they only
to
got one pick.
Washington. The pick is in. Let's send it back
Well,
to NBA
we
Commissioner
know they
Adam
need
Silver.
a center.
Here we go.
Yeah, they're picking up Sarr. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, sorry.
With the second
Yeah.
pick in the 2024 NBA draft, the Washington Wizards select Alex Sarr
Yep.
from Toulouse, France, overtime elite, and Australia's Perth Wildcats of the NBL.
Mm.
All right.
Alex Sarr.
So far,
Now,
everything's
this where-
going to
19-year-old
plan.
Frenchman.
Now this where the draft get interesting at right now.
Number three.
It could be a trade.
World Cup. As Jay mentioned,
It could be a
he's
pick
been
for somebody
great since he was
else.
14 years old when he was with
It could be a pick for the Rockets.
Seasons, of course, with the
A lot
overtime.
of
It
shit
just
going on.
depends.
Here with
There's a lot of shit going
His
on.
brother, Olivier Sarr, plays for the Oklahoma City Thunder. You see him sharing this moment with his family. And Alex told me that he was really most looking forward to sharing this draft, this moment with Olivier.
So
But
far,
Sarr
everything's
certainly has,
going to
Andrea,
plan.
one of the more unique paths to the NBA.
Absolutely. I mean, he has played internationally. He has so much experience. You have to think he's drawing from his older brother's experience as well, with Olivier being in
Older
the
brother.
NBA, like you said. The
Yeah, his
thing
brother in
about
the NBA.
Alex Sarr, he
Oh, I
can
didn't know that.
light a fire under the Washington Wizards defensively. It's the first thing he mentioned at the NBA Combine to Christine Williamson when she talked to him. He said, my defensive versatility, my
Oh, they,
passion on that side. The Washington Wizards can lean into that.
All
and
right, so the
seal
Wizards
this
got
out.
their
Let's
big
bring back
man.
Jonathan Gavoni
'Cause
to
they
learn a
definitely
little bit
needed
more.
one.
Hey, Jonathan.
Because they ain't had no
Hey,
center.
Malika.
They ain't got no paint
Alex
protection.
Sarr is the type of unicorn big man every team covets in the modern NBA, with his ability to protect the rim and space the floor. 7'1" with length, mobility, and explosiveness in spades. He led the Australian NBL in block percentage, but he can do more than that with the way he covers ground, hedging ball screens, switching on the perimeter, and operating out of drops. He's not a finished product offensively by any means, but the flashes he showed, pushing off the defensive glass, passing out of short rolls, finishing skillfully out of pick and roll,
Oh, he
and
can
even
shoot the
stepping
three.
outside and making
That's what I
22
wanted for our
three-pointers
team
this
right there.
season gives him quite a bit of upside to tap into on that end of the floor as he gets stronger and tougher and improves his feel for the game. Sarr's camp honed in on Washington from very early on in this process, with general manager Will Dawkins telling associates he sees shades of Chet Holmgren in Alex Sarr, a player he had a role in drafting in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
I see a little more Kristaps Porzingis here. Malika
Mhm.
is 2 for 2 now. The French
right.
Revolution continues
Jonathan
in the NBA.
Klingon
And
or
your
Reed
miles
Shepard?
are
Who is it
all
going to
the
be?
way up, Jonathan. You were traveling the globe, seeing Alex.
Klingon,
Sarr's
let's
journey.
go, baby.
As you mentioned, we haven't really seen one quite like
paint
this. He was
protection.
born
We
in
need a big
Bordeaux,
man. We
France.
ain't got
He started
nobody
playing
in the paint.
basketball at the age of
But
4 years
I
old.
think the
Richard,
Rockets
were you
gonna
playing
end
before?
up
No, but
picking
little
up.
Richard was.
Richard's already
Shepard.
playing there. Real Madrid.
Unfortunately.
And we need shooting.
2019,
And we need shooting.
2021. And then
So which one you
the
want more?
overtime
Shooting,
elite
or
from
you need
2021
big man
to
in the paint,
2023.
rim protection,
Well-
rebounding.
Zoom. There we go.
Well, you know who our coach is.
The Perth Wildcats in Australia.
Are they gonna let him have his way?
2023 To 2024. You didn't like my Zoom?
Do
Not a Zoom.
planes still Zoom?
No.
I don't know if that's a plane.
Not a Zoom.
What's the noise?
We'll find out.
I guess I shouldn't be making one otherwise you're in a little bit of trouble. But Sar and Risha Shea, Jonathan Gaboni mentioned the French Revolution.
We'll
It's the
find
first
out.
time
We'll find out how much.
since 2003, the top two
We'll
picks
find out how
in the
much
draft
power he
go
got in a few
college.
seconds.
And now Alex Sar is with Harmonica.
So you think they're gonna let him have his way?
Well, congratulations.
We'll find out in a few seconds.
I don't know, man. Let me
We'll find out the coach the man in a few seconds. Because if they draft Shepard, we know that's the analytic pick. If they draft
Brother,
Klingon, we
obviously a big part of your basketball inspiration. What has he shared with you about playing in this league?
I mean, you know, he shared a lot with me. You know, like, everything I've learned is through him, and he gave me all his knowledge. And you know, till this day, it's really special to have someone like him in my corner.
I hear you getting a little choked up. Tell me why.
Because you know, like I went to read his draft, and you know, I know how it feels to go out undrafted. You know, and for me to be able to be a top pick now is, you know, it's really special.
It is special. Alex, enjoy tonight. Congratulations on your next chapter.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
well,
Alex Sar getting emotional, understandably so, seeing his dreams realized here. And the Houston Rockets are now on the clock. We talked about
Here we
this
go.
being
All right,
a
Rockets.
very interesting inflection point in the draft.
All
We're
right,
going to
Rockets.
see this pick
Gonna see what
selected.
y'all
Are they going
do,
to move
man.
on? This is why, by the way, the Houston Rockets have acquired the number 3 overall pick. It goes way back to the James Harden trade. You can see all
We
the
appreciate you, James. Shout out to
Oh,
James
he
Harden, baby. Shout out to James Harden. Thank you,
My
James. We
apologies.
appreciate you.
Oh, there you go.
right here on your screen. I want to bring in our front office insider, Bobby Marks, into the conversation because, Bobby, Houston really has an interesting dual timeline that they're trying to achieve here. They have this young pick that they're about to bring in, and then they also are in win now mode. How do you balance those two things?
Yeah, they also have Jalen Green and Alperen Sengun, who's rookie extension eligible, and they've got the draft assets they acquired from Brooklyn now. So I think you're going shooter. They need a playmaker. 26 in assists last year here. I think you're trying to win now. Top 10 in defense here. But I think you do need to improve your offense, Malika.
The Rockets finished 41-41 in their first season under Ime Udoka. The pick is in. Let's send it back
Here we go.
to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
Oh, boy.
We're going to find out right now.
Here we go. See what we got.
With the third pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Houston Rockets select Reed Shepherd from the
Motherfucker.
University of Kentucky.
Motherfucker here.
God dang.
That's that analytic pick.
Reed Shepherd has been called the best shooter in
Well,
this
there you go.
His
You
parents,
got me hyped for
by the
clinging.
way, happy birthday.
I
to
was
his
hyped for him,
mom.
too.
We're both big-time
That's
players at the University of Kentucky as well. And if you had told him just a year
They
ago,
plan on
Jay,
keeping
that he
this
would be
kid.
in this position, he said that, you know what, I really would.
If I got clinging, I figure they might
He
put
has
him in the
risen
trade.
so
But
far
unless
up the
somebody
boards.
wants him
He's an
and they picked
outdoorsman.
him
He loves
for another
camping in
team
his
for a
spare
trade,
time, and now he is headed.
I don't
to the
think so.
Rockets.
What a meteoric rise.
They need
Reed
shooting.
Shepherd, his high school AAU team was called the Leftovers.
Yeah, that shit ain't funny.
In this draft, shot 52% from three last year for Kentucky.
wow.
Makes great decisions in pick and roll.
Motherfucker came out of
He
nowhere.
can shoot it from deep. He can shoot it off the catch and shoots very well off the dribble. An elite passing feel, very low turnover rate, and a very smart
Fucking JJ
defender as
Redick.
well. He's kind of a free safety type defender.
Yeah,
He gets a
or
lot of
Brent
steals,
Price.
deflections, and blocks at a very
All the
underrated
same.
athlete. Finished very high in the vertical leap, the standing vert,
Matt
and the
Maloney.
max vert at the NBA.
Oh, hell no. I think he better than that.
When he is guarding
Okay.
the ball, can he stay in front of elite guards in the NBA? He's small, but man, he can really shoot it and has a great feel for the game.
The thing about Houston is what? It's hot. Reed Shepherd is the type of player that can go on a heater. He's a heat check kind of guy. But it's not just his three-point shooting. He can score from all over the court. 54%
Yeah, I know.
from the
He's a
field.
fundamentally
Floaters,
sound player.
mid-range
He's
game,
smart.
52% from the three-point line is his immediate impact that he can take to the NBA. He knocks down his free throws. What impresses me me the most are his basketball instincts. You can tell he comes.
I'm gonna go on record and say I don't like this
knows
pick.
how to play with the guys around him, whether he's drawing
Yeah.
defenders and kicking.
You already putting it
assists
on
per
record.
game. That's another thing that he thrived in. 4.5 assists per game.
I'm putting it on record. I don't like this pick at all.
Not staying in front of the ball, Jay. That is
Yeah.
where he can improve. But he's enthusiastic. He's active. He
Improve. He can't guard nobody.
Rated athlete. Woo. He's been working out with Chris Paul, who told me that when they were together last month, they really worked on the defensive side of things, and Chris was really impressed by his shooting and his work ethic. But we know that John Calipari now, of course, at Arkansas, but he has an excellent track record
so he
of
worked with
many,
Chris
but
Paul.
particularly
Nobody talk about him playing defense. They always talk about him shooting the basketball.
see
That
here.
is true.
De'Aaron Fox, John Wall, and Reed Shepherd now joining this elite group of Kentucky guards picked in the top 5. And now Reed Shepherd is with our Monica McNutt.
All right, what do you guys say,
Shepherd
Reed?
family, Reed. A few minutes ago, you told me you were a little bit nervous. How are you feeling now?
No more nerves. I'm good. I'm super excited. This is awesome. Unbelievable. My mom's birthday today, so it's going to be a great night. It already is a great night, so it's awesome. I'm super thankful.
Happy birthday to you, Stacey. You guys have been a part of every milestone of his life so far. As parents who have been a part of this journey, what are you feeling tonight?
I don't know if I like this pick.
Thankful.
I do not like this pick at all.
Appreciation. So
I
proud
told you
of
we was gonna end up
Reed,
picking this
and
dude.
God's been so good to our
I was
family.
hoping-
You said
So
it.
glad to be here.
I was hoping that maybe
We're just blessed.
you
Thankful
kind of
to be
wooed
here,
me on the
enjoying
other
with my
one.
family. We've got
Well-
75 people, family and friends that are here, and get to
But I
celebrate
don't
with
know.
them. So it's
Reed
an
Shepherd,
unbelievable day.
we'll
It
see.
is quite special. Now, read to the basketball of it all. Folks are excited about your ability to shoot the ball. But
Summer
you're going
league
to
is
the
about to
NBA where the
start, so we'll
defenders
get
are
a
even
get a
better.
chance to see
What
what he
are
plays
the
like.
Houston Rockets getting in terms of a guy that's going to make sure you can find a way to shoot the ball?
Yeah, there's a guy going in. He's looking to learn.
Blow by.
He's going to do whatever it takes to win. He's going to, if it's not making threes right away, that's getting teammates involved. Whatever it takes to win and be on the court, I'm going to do whatever makes the team better.
Congratulations, Reed. Congratulations, Mom, Jeff, and Stacey.
There is a whole lot.
I think the Rockets look at this.
A whole lot of Kentucky royalty up there. But last night, Reed Shepherd, he tried his hand at throwing out the first pitch. Shall we take a look at how he did, Richard?
How do you do? Better than Perks?
I mean,
There we go. Is that Mom catching it?
yeah, it was a whole family affair. Perks throw is the bar.
Now,
that we're
see,
setting
so
this
they
up.
love
I'm
Reed
just
Shepherd.
wondering. I've seen some bad throws. Stephen A.
Stephen A.
We're gonna leave it out there. He's up
Austin
here somewhere.
Rivers, have you seen his? Well,
Yeah.
and then Mom got a birthday cake earlier. It's
So
her
San Antonio's on the
birthday.
clock.
Way to celebrate
They taking
it
Castle.
at the NBA draft, watching your son see his dreams come
So I
true.
think they're going after Castle.
Y'all think they should take Castle?
Maybe the decorations are a little bit bigger than the cake. But now the San Antonio Spurs, they are on the clock. We're going to see them picking 4th and 8th overall tonight. So let's just take a look here. San Antonio joined the league as a part of the 1976 merger, bringing with them the Iceman, George Gervin. He was a 4-time scoring champ, but never got past the conference finals. David Robinson was the number 1 pick in 87. Remember, he served 2 years in the Navy, joined the Spurs in 89, and the Admiral
now they're going after
won
the best player
MVP award,
available.
but the boat is really picked up some
Yeah.
What noise do boats make? When Tim Duncan was drafted number 1 overall in 97, the Spurs would win their first title in 1999. They'd had 2 key international players in Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, win 3 titles in a 5-season span. Kawhi Leonard, though, came on board in 2012, helping the franchise to their last title in 2014. The Spurs, they won nearly 70% of their games from 97 to 2000.
Well, you know what?
But they've missed
So they
the playoffs
picking-
the last 5 years. But now
They're picking 4th and 8th.
So anything is possible. Here's a look at the San
So-
Antonio Spurs draft headquarters.
They need a point guard too.
We are looking at Richard.
So do you take the point guard first,
We're gonna hold that thought
or
right
you get the
now
wing
and
first?
Send it back to the podium and NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
Is he
That's
gonna
the
be
question.
There? Is he going to be there if they pass on him?
I don't think Castle gonna be there if you pass on him.
With the 4th pick in the 2024 NBA draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Stephon Castle
Yep, I
from
picked
the
up Castle.
University of Connecticut.
The only pick I got wrong is ours.
Yeah.
Shooting guard out of UConn.
Damn.
Big East Freshman of the Year. He led Big East freshmen in points per game, rebounds per game.
He can play,
assists
man.
Per game. He's really
He played great defense.
Two-way player. His teammate Chris,
Mhm.
of course, the most outstanding player in the Final Four, said that Castle guards the other team's best player every single night. How do you add this piece to what Victor Wembanyama is building in San Antonio?
Well, he's like a shutdown corner in football. He's a strong, powerful.
So now they come back at 8 and get the point guard from overseas. So they like overseas players.
And he's a winner.
Yeah, that they do.
Yeah, there he is with
Mhm.
Early as well.
So do you think they will pick up Donovan Clingan if he's available at number 8?
No, they're not gonna take him because he gonna go 6 to Charlotte.
And when he grabs a defensive rebound, he's got
Oh, wait. So something's off because they got the Pistons taking
the one thing, he's a
Matafuz
limited shooter right now. He needs to improve.
Oh, the point guard?
And
number 5.
consistency of his mechanics, but it's not like his shot is broken or anything.
See,
He only
that's the thing.
7%
So if they take that point guard,
UConn. But I think
what the Pistons need? Why are Pistons taking a point guard?
Drew Holiday. That's how much I think of his defensive ability. Stephon Castle is a great defender.
I don't see the Pistons taking a point guard because they got
the way he moves.
what's his name? They draft last year.
I love
Yeah.
what Dan Hurley
kid,
said. He
the
said
point
no
that got hurt.
freshman impacted winning like this
Yeah.
champion. His combination of talent,
Hold on, let me
work
take a
ethic,
look.
and humility. All of
I don't see them drafting a point guard.
what makes Stephon Castle this lockdown defender and this great
All right,
player. I mean, you
so
mentioned Terrence Shannon Jr. How talented of
we
an
looking at
offensive player
Detroit.
Terrence Shannon Jr. is, and what
Oh,
Stephon
Jaden
Castle was
Ivey.
able to do in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
Jaden Ivey from last year, the point guard. He got hurt, but did he come back in the middle of the season?
Really impressive.
Yeah, he came back in the middle of the season. So why are you
so they
taking
got
another
Kane.
point guard?
Yeah, that don't make no sense. Okay, Cunningham and they got Jaden Ivey. So they don't need a point guard. So
Who they big man?
Elite defensive team, and he was a big reason why
Isaiah
Donovan
Stewart,
Clingan blocking shots inside.
Jalen
Clingan
Brunson.
But you don't
Clingan could go here.
Stephon Castle very
Yeah,
often.
it's
He's
possible they might
great,
get Clingan.
defender.
And Rich, you have something
Yeah.
in
James
common
Wiseman.
with Stephon's father. He was
Wiseman's a backup.
But him at Wake
He was
Forest.
a first round pick too, but he was a bust.
Player like this, you can see what the San Antonio Spurs are
Okay.
building. They do it very methodically. They do it their
Yeah.
way, and they're one of the
So
best
Clingan
player
could
development franchises that we have
go
ever
here.
seen. So I
Or they could take a wing.
He's a great pick, and his shot will improve.
Their
as Jay
wings,
said.
they
Here
are
the UConn
set on
players
wings.
drafted
They got
in
who?
the top 5, and now Stephon Castle.
Buddy
is the top.
Boheen.
Stephon,
Mm.
I don't know none of
congratulations.
these cats.
All right, we're taking a deep breath.
Yeah.
Your
They
head
play in
San
Detroit, that's
Antonio
why.
Play with this guy, Victor Wembanyama. You may have heard of him. But when you think of the opportunity that you now have to add your championship
they-
pedigree
remember
to this
they got a
organization,
star.
what are they getting?
From last.
They
got
Oh,
a
yeah.
last year.
Getting a winner.
Okay.
I learned how to
But
win
they don't
last
need a
year,
wing,
so
'cause he
I'm
started.
coming in with that kind of
Mm.
mindset, and just to have a teammate like that next to you, I feel
Mike
like it opens
Clingan.
up the floor so much for
Yeah, Clingan fits.
and expand your game.
Because that's
So,
pretty much what
I
they
just
need
can't
on
wait
their
to be out
list.
there.
Coach Hurley,
Yeah.
this young man was the first All-American, McDonald's All-American commit you got at UConn. And I heard you let out a woo when you got up here. Tell me what's going on.
Yeah, well, he played like our first McDonald's, man. This guy, when you look at fit right there,
Castle's
Spurs
gone. So
value
yes,
winning,
Donovan
they value
Clingan's up.
workers, they value
Yeah, Castle can hoop, man.
and this is just the perfect player for them to draft for what they do with that organization. This
Clingan's
guy's
going
just
to
scratching the
Detroit.
surface.
Outstanding stuff. Stephon, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Clingan's going to Detroit.
Yeah, I can see that.
Congratulations, Stephon.
It's a good call.
And now the Detroit Pistons are on the clock, and the Trajan Langdon era begins for Detroit. So I want to
Trajan Langdon, the head coach?
Adrian,
Get the fuck out of here.
Conversation. Detroit Woj doesn't have a head coach right now, as they are looking
Who
right
is
now
that?
for who will be their selection with this pick. What's the timeline in
Who's
which we
that
can see
girl?
a new head coach?
That
in place?
woman.
Malika, one
Oh, Malika.
Oh, that's
candidate
Malika. That's Malika. Yeah, I don't like Malika much.
New Orleans associate head coach James Borrego. He and Langdon worked together there this past season. But right now, Trajan Langdon is fielding a number of calls at number 5 for the Pistons. Several teams have been trying to get up in for the chance of getting UConn's Donovan Clingan.
Of
Among
course.
See?
those teams, the
Yeah.
Memphis Grizzlies at number 9. They imagine Clingan plugging right into their starting lineup. But right now, Detroit's fielding those calls. Charlotte will
Wow.
field them too if Clingan gets to 6. But I think for Detroit now, they're deciding whether they're going to keep this pick or there's a package they
Well,
like.
they shaking hands.
Up and grab Klingon.
Woj, thank you. It looks like maybe some
All right, the
decisions
pick
have
is
been made
in.
as we take a look at Detroit's draft headquarters right there. Jay, Woj mentioned Donovan Klingon. Let's talk a little bit about his game, the back-to-back national champion.
Well,
He's nice.
a rim
protector.
A 7'6"
Yep.
wingspan, and he's big, strong. That size and length, it makes him a great defender, but his timing is what sets him apart. He challenges everything in the lane and around the rim, and his timing, he doesn't leave the floor until the offensive player leaves the floor.
Goddamn Rockets.
He's a good rebounder,
Well,
and
maybe
he's
he'll
got
be a
great hands,
bust,
and he's
and
actually
then it'll
in
make you
pick-and-roll
feel better.
situations,
Make me feel better.
catch the ball and make
Yep.
a pass out of it. He's a good passer, especially for his size.
He got a nice mid-range jump shot too.
D in America.
I like
Then you
the
got
fit. I like
our
the Donovan
Shepard is
Klingon,
going. He think he's going
of
to turn
course,
into
is a talent
JJ
we're
Redick.
keeping our eyes on, but as our Adrian Wojnarowski, who literally just
Yeah, JJ Redick. That's who he is.
and are focusing in on Ron Holland. Tell us a little bit about
He'll
his
be
game.
coaching someday.
Ron Holland.
Exactly. Like JJ
Yeah.
Versatility,
Like JJ
size,
Redick.
had an up and down year as far as the G League Ignite goes, but a player that can attack off the basket, that can get downhill. I think Ron Holland will be
Oh, yeah, I
a
like-
great fit for Detroit.
I like Ron Holland too.
Last night being overlooked.
Ron Holland can hoop.
Would go much higher than he was.
He athletic as hell.
And if he does go to Detroit, you're talking about a guy who's an above the rim finisher, an outstanding athlete, a big time
He athletic.
that can get to the rim. He was the G
He
League
can jump
player.
out the gym.
bucket there
Mhm.
as well.
And he played good defense too for a young cat.
To this pick officially being in, again, our Adrian Wojnarowski reporting that this
Ron Holland will be a shock right here though.
on Ron Holland. But
Yeah.
how big of
'Cause
an
I-
impact does it have, Richard, not having a head coach in place at the time of the draft?
Oh, it's huge because you don't understand. And again, free agency is not far away. And so when you look at the Detroit Pistons, obviously the way the coaching carousel has happened this year, there hasn't been a lot of opportunity for them to interview the I think the level of coaches that they were like. Trajan Langdon just took over the job, and apparently the pick is in.
you want to do this?
No, you do that job.
Ron Holland will be nice in Detroit.
NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
All right, we know Klingon is going to Detroit. That's what I'm
With the
definitely.
5th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft,
This could be the first
Detroit
curveball.
Pistons select Ron Holland II.
There it is. There it is. I told you. I told you. He athletic as hell. He is athletic as hell.
Play him at the 3 and play Asar at the 4.
Yeah.
18 years old.
Probably so.
But those close to him tell me
I think he's 6'7", 6'8".
wise beyond his years.
He can play, man. I like him too.
Points a game for the Ignite. As Jay mentioned, he did sustain a thumb injury in January, missed the rest of the season for what he says was precautionary reasons. But in his spare time,
Klingon
Andrea,
is
he
dropped
enjoys
down,
playing
folks.
the drums. Last summer, he held his first Hoops and Health youth camp in Duncan
All right, so
Bay
this shakes
High
up the
School
draft.
in Texas.
So
And his dad,
he's from Texas too.
specialty Cajun
All right, so
Alfredo.
they had Ron Holland going at number 9.
Alfredo, you mentioned he
So he
plays
just
the
went
drums,
number
so
5
he's
for the
good at a little bit
Pistons.
of everything.
I told you this could mess it up. So who's picking right now?
Just under 20
So
points
now we
per
got the
game,
Hornets.
just under 7 rebounds per game. He
They'll
gets
take
assists,
Klingon.
he
They
gets
Klingon.
steals.
Yep.
When you talk
They
about
take
a
Yeah.
Klingon
franchise
because that's what they
that
got
doesn't
him. They
yet have a
said
head coach,
Stephon.
Yeah, they take
Always
Klingon.
get a player
He already
that can
went,
do
so
it all.
Klingon
He can contribute on
is
both
next
ends of the
up.
floor. His skill set is so versatile. So whoever the coach is going to have a lot to work with Ron Holland.
And he's just 18 years old. He's an aggressive, lengthy wing that is a driver slasher. We mentioned above the
Okay.
rim finisher, and he's got a
Mute him for a minute,
He
E.
plays really, really hard. The one thing he lacks.
Listen, the first couple of picks, they not even 20 yet. 18, 19, 18, 19, 19.
They got a bunch of young.
They banking on the future. So that's why how old is Klingon? 21, 22?
Yeah.
He a grown man in NBA eyes. So we banking on potential. We try to get all the potential that we can. We're gonna get it's with the youth. You know, you 22, you old. We ain't messing with you. But those are the ones who can play, them grown men. All right. That's
Well,
crazy.
there you go.
Yep. Yeah, Detroit, man. He just slipped down a little bit, number 6. But I think Charlotte will take him right here. That'd be a great pick for Charlotte. That'll solidify they'll solidify the middle of their defense. They got somebody to run pick and roll with Melo and pick and pop. That would be nice. That's nice because he can rim roll and he can protect the rim, and that'll help Charlotte out. I like it. It's a great fit. It was a great fit in Houston too, and you know we did. We passed the Dolce on the left hand side. Yeah. I've been saying I didn't want Reed Shepard when the draft stuff, and they start marketing him to us. I was like, oh shit, here we go. But you know, some people had him as Rex. If some people said his comparison was Rex Chapman. If he Rex Chapman, goddammit, if he Rex Chapman, I'm okay with the pick. But if he JJ Redick, hell no, I ain't okay with the pick.
I mean, JJ, he did what he did what he do.
Okay, all right, let's go with the pick in. And if he mark Price, I damn sure don't want this goddamn pick. We see Mark Price.
So Charlotte, they don't. The only big man they got at center is Marquez Bolden.
Yeah. He in the building.
And Mark Williams.
Yeah,
I don't know who that is.
Well, at least one of them about to get cut. One of them about to get cut. Yeah, one of them about to get cut. God damn, this guy
still on.
He sold it. He sold it for $3 billion, $4 billion, or $5 billion, something like that. A couple of billion.
Oh wow! So he sold his share in the team.
Yeah. You know, he was the whole majority owner. He just sold his whole stakes or something like that. Yeah. God damn Rockets, boy. Well, you know what? We usually draft really well. This is the only time I'm really conflicted about their draft pick.
I guess it's one of them you couldn't pass them up.
Well, it was like a free. I think there's like a free lottery ticket. Like we won the lottery, we wasn't supposed to be here in the first place. Yeah. So we just gonna take a shot at it. Yep. I think that was an analytics pick though. Like the analytics was so good on him that they couldn't. He shot 45 or 40-something% from 3. I guess they said we got enough defensive players to put around him that we can stick him in the corner and we can have him play against the worst defender. But you ain't got no goddamn whatever. And I think the reason they didn't take the rim protector because they got Steve Adams back there playing as their rim protector. So I think that's how they look at it more than anything. Because they didn't. Well, we'll see what they're gonna do in the second round. What pick we got in the second round? 40-something. Or do we have a second round pick at all? I say, do we have a second round pick at all? Or we gave it away?
No, we got our pick is number 14 in the
okay. That's like in the first round. Yeah. So that's like second round, high pick. So it depends on who falls too. So now we gotta watch who falls. But the difference is the fall in the NBA ain't like the NFL. Because when you start falling and you're supposed to be a top 10 pick, the later teams gonna jack you up real quick because it ain't like a quarterback falling in the NFL. Because when you fall in the NFL, it's all about based on team needs. Now you're in trouble. yeah. Now you're in trouble. Yeah. Like what happened to Aaron Rodgers. Like he just failed because every team had a starting quarterback then, and that's how the Packers got him in the second round or something like that, or third round, whatever they drafted him at. Yeah.
Wow.
But this draft thing is not a science because, like, in the NBA, if you mess up your first round pick, you're gonna suffer for a long ass time.
Yep. Ask Charlotte and Detroit.
Yeah, they can stick it for a long time. But see, I don't know if Detroit if it's the talent. I don't know what it is in Detroit. They got so much talent in Detroit. It's scared.
Yeah, it's weird because I'm like, how they so horrible when they got all that talent?
And they got a lot of talent in Detroit. They got at least 1, 2, 3, at least 4 or 5 lottery picks on their team. Yeah, that's crazy. You know. Yeah. And Charlotte, I mean, they just draft bad. I mean, the best player they drafted in the last couple of years has been LaMelo Ball, and then last year they drafted the one of the best players in the draft. So they got 2 guards. So yeah, I mean, the center would be the right pick for them because you know they got the combination of guards. Now they can say, okay, hey, we need a center. So, but you know, they might take a more athletic center than him. They might take the kid from Indiana, or they might take the kid from they take the kid from the G League, the small forward. Oh, here we go. Let's go. Let's see what they say. You gotta turn the volume back up here.
Salon from Cholet, France.
See? Did you see?
The Frenchmen continue to dominate the 2024 NBA draft.
Okay, so
with the selection of
something's up with
Salon.
Clinton.
It's the first country outside of the United States that we have seen
Something's
have
up with Clinton.
these types of numbers at the top of the draft. 3 top 10 picks here. He went from playing 17 total minutes last season for Cholet's pro team to moving into an impactful role with both the French League and the Champions League. He averaged just under 10 rebounds in 23 minutes as the youngest player in France.
Right. So up is the Blazers.
Rotation minutes,
and they got him. They got him taking Cody Williams.
Energizer for his team.
Ooh, yeah, out of Colorado.
Me, Tijan Salon says that pushes me to be my best.
Yeah, he's from Colorado.
Play.
Dude with long hair.
Up for his moment to shake hands with the commissioner. Yeah,
wow, that's crazy.
He's got range. He can hit threes. He can hit step back threes. He can hit threes.
That's a crazy pick right there.
Shoot the highest percentage right now, but his 3-point shooting is promising, which is something that Charlotte can use. His size, his versatility,
I wasn't
and his
expecting that.
defensive energy will also be big in Charlotte.
he's a
Jonathan
forward.
Gavoni has more.
Malika Tijan Salon is an ultra
nobody
talented
wants the
power
traditional
forward,
big
only
man.
scratching the surface of what he can develop into at 18 years old. Some of the best physical tools in this draft: 6'10" in shoes, 7'2" wingspan, a huge 9'2" standing reach, and a very impressive
Man, they got a whole
frame
bunch
that
of
should
foreign
fill out
players going in the
considerably
top
at times.
10.
He shows impressive versatility with his dynamic shot-making ability and non-stop defensive intensity. He never runs out of energy, which helped him carve out a significant role for a playoff team in France. Not an easy feat
These
at
foreign
his age.
players is taking
Salon's
over the
feel for game
league.
and skill level is a work in progress, but let's remember, he's the youngest
problem.
player here is in call tonight.
You know, the last time they had a lot of foreigners in the draft, they had a lot of busts.
3 of the top 10
When was
picks
that?
here tonight are from France. It's the first time that we have seen a country.
That was in the
outside
early 90s.
Richard, I really think that speaks to where the
But that's
game
when it
is
was
now.
first
The
starting.
game
though.
is there.
When they
And
first
you
started
look at
coming in the
Zach Gray,
league.
when you look at Wembanyama,
They done
both of
matured
them
since
played
then.
for Tony Parker's team in France. So when you have one of the
About
great
30
point
years
guards
later,
in NBA history,
these boys
that is
been
over
playing.
there,
They've
really
been
kind of
balling.
running
They've
a
been
field
practicing.
team, picking up players, showing them the way,
They play against
developing the
grown
talent.
men.
There is a French connection. There's a French explosion coming over here right now, and I don't see it stopping anytime soon. The thing that makes me most excited about the international growth of the game is that we're about to enter into the Olympics, and the Olympics are going to be one of the most competitive collection of basketball talent that this world has ever seen, and France is going to be one of those big teams there.
Let's take a look here. Richard, that striking young man,
yes.
right, alongside some of your French teammates.
Yeah, so that was a Hall of Famer in me and then a future Hall of Famer in me. But
You're gasping for air in both pictures.
I'm exhausted.
Can't keep up.
No, I can't.
And now these young men tonight joining a long line of decorated Frenchmen. I want to bring back in our senior NBA insider, Adrian Wojnarowski, now, though, as the Portland Trailblazers are on the clock. Woj, we talked about Donovan Clingan being a player that several teams were hoping to move up for. What more can you tell us?
Emily, no team more than the Portland Trailblazers. You know, they were hoping Donovan Clingan might enter last year's draft.
Well, they got
They
their
would have
man.
tried to select him then. They were really hopeful that Clingan would make it to 7. They talked to teams in front of
He
them.
there now.
But Clingan is going to make it to number 7. Joe Cronin, their general manager, Mike Schmitz, our former colleague at ESPN, The first
Don't
time
be
he saw
nervous. You
Donovan
going to
Clingan
Portland.
was with me at about
You get to play
6
with
in the morning during
what's his
Donovan
name?
Clingan's senior
And with nobody.
They point guard.
They went to
They
the
got what's his
Blazers.
name?
He kept close tabs on him, and now the Blazers are going to get the big physical defensive center to help build their rebuild there around.
Right. It's the first year post Damian Lillard for the Portland Trailblazers. His last season was, they ranked last in rim protection, Jay. So if it is Clingan,
Yep.
I want to address that. But the pick is in. Let's go back to the podium.
Yes,
They got
Clingan.
DeAndre Ayton.
He sucked.
With the 7th pick in the 2024 NBA draft, the Portland Trailblazers select Donovan Clingan
Yep. They
from
got
the
that guy.
University of Connecticut.
There you go.
Donovan Clingan, the back-to-back.
So the Spurs on the clock again.
I mean,
They need a point guard.
monster in the NCAA tournament. 19 blocks over the course of it.
Vincent Park
Really,
said,
as
"What
we
the
mentioned,
what the
known
f
for
are
his
we
rim
doing with a
protection.
point guard?"
But his entire
Who said that?
you see him
No,
embracing his
Vincent
family
Park.
here to become good.
Oh,
to become a
hell,
good
I don't know, dog. I don't know.
of his mother.
I said the same thing.
From breast cancer. That's when he decided to really get serious about basketball.
I just couldn't cuss as much because we live.
Honing his skills.
But if we wasn't live, I probably would have cussed their ass out.
His name is called. I'll be able to say my mom, as you can see there.
I tell him we
is
said the
proud of
same
me.
thing.
She certainly is, Jay, and the Trailblazers are getting a tremendous talent.
And
A
Donovan,
lot to be proud of.
he
Donovan
dropped
Clingan has
dang,
tremendous size
all the way to 7.
and great
All the way to 7.
6 wingspan.
Is he
His
going? I
defensive
mean,
ability is really impressive.
I'm just curious to see how this
especially
pans
his
out in the next
timing. We
one
talked
to
before
2
about when
years.
he doesn't leave the floor to block a shot until the offensive player leaves the floor first.
Dog, watch how good timing he got to block his shots, man. Look at that.
A pick and roll.
Look at that.
Catches it in a short roll. He does a great job.
Come on, man.
But really, what sets him apart is his defense, his rim protection. Look at him going
Get
up.
that shit out of here.
Still able to get a block shot. You do question a little bit his lateral mobility. Finishes inside. He is efficient, but he's not a floor spacing big guy. You know, he doesn't shoot the ball, and he only
He's a
shot
traditional big
56%
man.
from the foul line. That's something he's going to have to get better at.
They don't
But in
like
the
him.
post, he finishes efficiently with his back to the basket. Here's the short roll where he can be essentially a playmaker, passing out of it, and he played on a great cutting team at UConn. But with his lateral mobility, that needs to get a little bit better because when he gets out to guard ball screens, he can't just always play in drop coverage. He's going to have to get out and hedge a little bit, maybe guard for 1 or 2 dribbles.
I guess he probably didn't have a good workout.
Just a monster and a good,
Probably so.
solid rebounder on the defensive glass as well.
And now Donovan Clingan is with our.
Probably that lateral movement they talking about.
Donovan, I know tonight is huge for you. You got a special design in this jacket. What are you feeling from your mom tonight?
Feeling everything. You know, I know she's super proud.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. That lateral movement, that lateral quickness.
For my entire
Yep.
life, and just to hear my name called is, you know.
Let me reset.
But in Portland they don't care, because they think he the next coming to Bill. Yeah, he might be the next coming to Bill Walton for them.
So I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep trying to get better. I'm gonna keep learning, and I'm just gonna try to be the best player I can every day.
I have no doubt you'll be able to do that, Donovan. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So we have 2 UConn guys going in the top 10. It's the 6th time in the last 40 years the reigning national champ has had multiple players drafted in the top 10. Of course,
Spurs
the last
up.
one, can you take a guess? Sting?
No,
I'll be back.
Spurs gonna take a point guard. They need a guard. They need a point guard. They need a playmaking point guard.
And already the hats are going. Dan Hurley's rocking the San Antonio.
As he
and
should. As he
Portland
should.
Trailblazers hat. You had an interesting point on the Trailblazers.
Well, as soon as I saw that pick, I think about DeAndre Ayton. Now, obviously, unceremoniously left Phoenix, wanted his opportunity, gets there to Portland in a very, difficult rebuild spot. No Damian Lillard. Obviously, they have Scoot Henderson, but now they go draft a center with the 7th pick. And look, if you're DeAndre Ayton, if you're any starting player, if you're a former number 1 pick and they use the 7th pick to draft someone in your position, that is a very, very curious thing that I think Portland fans and in that organization are going to end up having to address.
The Portland Trailblazers selecting Donovan Clingan, and now for
They gonna trade his ass.
San Antonio Spurs are back on the clock, Jay. I think there was some conversation as to whether or not the San Antonio Spurs wanted to make both of these selections rather than look around for a veteran. But as of right now, who do you think fits the best?
Well, if they want scoring, Rob Dillingham is still available. He's a small guard.
Yeah.
He is a bucket getter. And then
Bucket getter, Kentucky.
G League Ignite, who's a terrific power forward that's got a lot of potential to be an outstanding player in the league.
Devin Carter is another player that I would look at.
He's a San Antonio type player.
The
That's great.
San Antonio type player, aggressive defensively. He's so active on the ball, and he also really increased his three-point shooting. So when you think of a couple of things that San Antonio needs, three-point shooting, defensive presence, Devin Carter could be a good option.
Jay, do you see the presence of Victor Wembanyama? He knew that this was going to be a multi-year process, but have you seen the timeline change for the San Antonio Spurs? When you have a generational talent like that, you've covered so many of them.
Yeah, I mean, you want to put as many good players around him as soon as you can, but it's still a long-term, you want to get value and long-term rebuild. And, you know, with San Antonio, they've done it through the draft over the years. And I still think that's the way you build a championship team primarily is through the draft, and you add to it with free agency and the occasional trade. But the draft has to be the foundation.
When we talked about coming into this draft, the Celtics and how they used the draft to build this team, the players that they picked together when it comes to Jaylen Brown and it comes to Jason Tatum, and giving those guys time to grow, whether it's Rob Dillingham, whether it's Devin Carter, whoever is going to have time to grow with Victor Wembanyama, and that's when you see sustainable success in the league.
Well, for me, when I look at San Antonio, I talked about it earlier, they are one of the best development franchises this league has ever seen. So they are also a team that could take a player that might have some things, and you're like, hey, we can work on this upside because we're in a rebuild. We can spend 2-3 years developing a player. Now, obviously, when you're at that level of a pick, you want to get somebody that can contribute, but also I think what they're looking for might be different because of where they are.
When Rob Dillingham declared for this NBA draft on NBA Today, and he talked about the prospect of playing with Victor Wembanyama. He thought that he would be the perfect guy to pair alongside him. He said he really doesn't mind coming off the bench the majority of the season, taking on whatever role is needed. He's okay with another big star being there. And now the pick is in. Let's see who it is. Sending it back to the podium for NBA Commissioner Adam Silver to tell us.
With the 8th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Rob Dillingham from the University of Kentucky.
That boy can play. He can light it up. That's the point guard they needed.
Was hoping for a home with the San Antonio Spurs. He was the SEC Sixth Man of the Year. He studies the likes of Jason Kidd, of Steve Nash, of Darius Garland. And Missouri head coach Dennis Gates said this about Dillingham. He's probably the best isolation player in college basketball.
And he is lightning in a bottle. When you talk about being crafty, explosive, high flying, he has hang time. He can take contact in the air and finish. What he lacks in size, he makes up for in skill. And you mentioned being SEC Sixth Player of the Year. He knows what it means to, whether it's come off the bench or have a smaller role, and light it up. His scoring ability is incredible. I'm already imagining him running around Victor Wembanyama in handoffs, the speed that he plays with, the energy that he brings. San Antonio will love him.
He's just a
Rob did. They took the point guard. Rob Dillingham out of Kentucky.
Dillingham is ultra quick. He's got a
Boy can play, man.
But his speed, his quickness, his change of direction
Rob
really sets him
Dillingham.
apart. And he's a creator. You know, I would say a 3-level scorer because he can get to the rim and finish creatively and creates for himself. Now, at times he's been unfocused on defense, and he is small. But when you're good enough, you're big enough.
Oh, he went to
and this
Kentucky.
guy is good enough. We got to get away from microwave. It's more air fryer. Microwave is an old technology. He is an air fryer scorer, but he can score from anywhere on the floor. And when he gets on a roll, man, he can put points up in a hurry, and did so last year quite a bit. Elite speed and quickness. He's elusive.
What they got him
and he's
compared
also
to?
a good passer.
He's not
Maxey.
afraid to take the last
Yep.
shot, whether he comes off the bench, whatever. It doesn't matter. You can imagine step backs. Darius
Yeah, you
Garland is
remind me
a
of
great
Maxey.
comparison for Dillingham.
But you're not going to be imagining him next to Victor Wembanyama because as our Adrian Wojnarowski just reported, Minnesota
He was
is
traded.
traded for the 8th pick and Rob Dillingham.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's time now
Oh,
for
why they
Welcome to the
getting
Neighborhood,
Stephon
brought
Castle?
to you by State Farm. They were both with the Spurs, but now, as our Adrian Wojnarowski reported, Minnesota once again has traded for the 8th pick and
Oh.
Robert Dillingham here. What do you think of his fit there with Minnesota, a team that is really trying to eclipse where they were in the playoffs this year?
Minnesota is very, very close.
But I'm
And
confused.
to me, to see them
So-
move,
I am too. What they
a player of that
So
caliber.
Minnesota
You
got
look at, let's say,
Castle
bench
and
scoring, backing up Conley.
No, I just think they got Dillingham.
So if you need a burst off their bench, which I think that they were lacking on the scoring side, you get a young player that you're confident about, that you believe in. You say, hey, look, you're going to come off the bench with these veterans. We're going to show you the way. And now all of a sudden you start to look at that burst scoring, that bench scoring, which was so big in the postseason if you had bench depth. And that's something that I think Minnesota just added.
You know, you talk about this league and some of the best teams, what do they do really well? They shoot threes. They knock down threes. Rob Dillingham can do that. Coming off of the bench, he's got elite speed. He can run with Anthony Edwards. He is the type of player that fits
Okay, so I
with
get-
any
they're gonna
team because
explain
he
the
is
trade.
just that talented.
Yeah.
He's so committed to his role and doing whatever the team needs to be successful. Also, playing for Minnesota will challenge him defensively. You know,
So
Minnesota
somebody
is a team
said that they're
leans on
trading
their defense.
for
Rob Dillingham will
Minnesota
grow in
traded
that
for
area
Pat Beverly.
with those players around him.
How do you see him? I mean,
Why?
such a big personality. We really love having him.
Look, why?
Personality. Of
I'm
course,
confused.
Anthony Edwards next to one another.
I am too.
Just go ahead and think about the post-game interviews because
Look
if
at that.
those two are together, you're going to get laughs. You're going to get all kind of jokes. They'll probably pick on each other, but it's going to be special. I mean, Reed Shepherd talked about Rob Dillingham being one of the funniest guys that he knows. That's Anthony Edwards for all of us, for the entire country, for the entire world. So those two together will be fun.
The Minnesota Timberwolves, Rob Dillingham being added to their roster here. I'm watching as Adrian Wojnarowski is now reporting. There's also an unprotected first 2031 and some future picks that are involved.
That is.
So clearly the
Okay.
Timberwolves, they are very active right now, but the Memphis Grizzlies, they are now on the clock. Richard, what do you think of this is a team that really, when you're talking about the Western Conference, it's only going to get better next year, and it's because of teams like the Grizzlies.
They need a rim protector.
They have so much talent on their team. Just a couple of years ago, before the injuries, they
All
were
right,
one of
so-
the picks to go to the NBA Finals. They're able to bring back all of those guys. They got John Morant. They have a
It's
lot
a
of
Rob
talent.
Dillingham.
They got to go
They
big.
Now in Minnesota.
Well, let's
Literally,
see if they do.
like a big player on the
Because the
inside.
pick is in. Let's head back to NBA
All right, see what we
Commissioner
got.
Adam Silver.
Did they take the big boy from Indiana?
Tuck said, when is Jordan coming
The
back?
9th pick in the
He ain't.
2024 NBA draft, the Memphis Grizzlies select Zach Edey from Toronto and Purdue University.
Mm. Damn.
Eating.
They took big Zach Edey. They took Edey. God damn. He's a player of the year, though. Remember I was talking about him? I thought he was going to go in the second round.
Ontario, where he played hockey and
He's 7'2".
he started playing basketball his sophomore year of high school.
Oh, so that's
and
the
then
kid.
later
Okay, so he's a
attended
7'2"
IMG
kid.
Academy.
Yeah, that's the kid I was talking about. Yeah.
2 years at
So they're gonna have him
I
in
thought-
the league
decision to
developing.
attend Purdue.
I thought he was a second round pick. I think they just.
Player of the year.
I think they drafted for need and not for talent. I mean, he could play. He was a college player of the year back to back.
NBA Combine. You can see the legends that he
Is he gonna
joined
play?
here with that 2-time Player of the Year nod. But at the Combine, his measurements.
I don't
came
know.
out, right, just Rich, 7'3" and 3/4, weighted at
7'3".
299 pounds.
I just think he's slow.
In the NBA these days, but how will his game translate? I think has been the question over and over again for Zach Edey. Jack.
Zach Edey isn't just big, he's massive. Just absolutely massive. He's a physical force in the paint. Big, powerful inside presence with a 7'10" wingspan. His footwork has improved immeasurably from when he came out of high school as an unranked
I
player.
was
He's
trying
only
to
been playing
figure out
basketball for
where.
about 6 years.
Oh, they.
But he's got really
I
good
thought he was gonna
hands.
be in top
He's got
5.
an excellent touch with both his.
Nah, I thought he was gonna be in. I thought he was gonna be
rebounds
in the
at a
second round.
level. Last year, he averaged 25 points, over 12 rebounds a game, over 5 offensive rebounds. Gets fouled, goes to the free throw line, and knocks his free throws down.
I didn't even know he was in. I thought he was in next year's draft.
Over the last
No, he in this one.
I think his game is going to translate to the NBA. Is he going to be a guy that's going to be a stretch big? No, but he's going to change your rotation.
He's not.
He's put into the game because of his size.
Yeah.
What I love about his
He's big as hell, though.
He got better every year. He improved. That's
So
what
he
NBA
ended up as a
players and
senior,
NBA teams want to
25
see.
and
When you
12.
look at their team, when you
Yeah.
talk about Jaren Jackson Jr., Defensive Player of the Year just a couple of years ago. Now
So
you're
those
adding a big.
are those
Steven Adams, when
empty
he was
numbers?
out, there was a big hole in what they were trying to
No, he improved every year.
Another big.
I just thought he was slow.
You got John Morant. You got Marcus Smart. This
You
is
think
a
he
team
better
that
than
if they
Clingan?
can stay healthy, will be a force next year in the West.
Better than who?
There were so many
Oh,
things,
no.
as I said, about how
Hell no.
look in the NBA. I want to bring in our Adrian Wojnarowski into the conversation because I think there are a lot of folks who are surprised Edie went as high as number 9 here, Woj.
See?
Zach Kleiman, the general manager in Memphis, he was determined to get a center in this lottery. He tried to get UConn's Donovan Clingan. He was negotiating right up until the final moments with Charlotte at number 6. He knew he had to get in front of Portland at 7. And when Clingan went off the board to the Blazers, Zach Edey now heads to Memphis, where he'll have an opportunity on a team returning that could be a 50.
I think it's just tough to draft a need, man, and not draft the best player available.
Woj, thank you.
Well.
Right, Andrea.
Well, you know what I love about that graphic where we show his stats getting better and better? What you don't see by just looking at those numbers is how every season he became more powerful. Every season he became more mobile. Every season he became more confident. Those things growing in his game. We talked about early in his career, he was like a wall. Late in his career, he's more like a battleship. Either way, he is daunting defensively. I don't think he's close to his ceiling.
On now, the Utah Jazz, their pick is in. Let's go back to the Commissioner Silver.
Oh, we got Shepard. Oh, yeah, Tuck
No,
was asking
Shepard,
who we
Shepard.
had.
In the 2024 NBA Draft, the Utah Jazz select Cody Williams from the
From the
University
United.
of Colorado.
What? Yep.
Cody Williams.
That's a nice pick.
First freshman drafted from Colorado in
Yep.
program history.
History.
A member of the Pac-12 all-freshman team. His discipline, his maturity. When you talk to folks around him, that is what they commend him on.
So the best player available, they got a couple of best players available right now. The kid from UConn. They got another wingman from UConn that's on the board.
Brother Jalen in this process. Jalen, of course, the 12th pick in 2022 and was a key piece for the Oklahoma City Thunder this year. Shaka Smart, the head coach for Marquette, said this of Cody Williams. He said, probably the best young player in the country. He is a ridiculous talent, Jay, that's for sure.
Long arm, versatile wing that can shoot it. He's
Great
got
handshakes. Oh. Do you guys have a handshake like that, Rich, Jay?
We're working on it. We're working on it. We're working on it.
You got a lot of work
My
to do.
wingspan's not long enough to get to RJ. But,
Mhm.
but talking about Cody Williams, you know, the versatility, the fact that he can shoot it, and he's highly skilled. Very good in
He is.
shoot situations. He can get that shot off a little bit quicker, but a good defender because of his length, and he can switch and stay in front. One of the things he needs to improve upon, he's not a great rebounder right now. Not explosive. He's a little bit thin, so he needs some strength. But he can put the ball on the deck. That shot that he has means that he can draw defenders out, put it on the deck, and he's got long strides getting to the basket, and he's a good finisher. I think he needs to improve his pull-up game, but his length makes him a good defender and a versatile defender that can switch and guard multiple
Yeah, guard multiple positions.
positions.
But that's what that is. 3-and-D guys.
And a lot of upside. I agree with Andrea. He's got a high ceiling as a freshman. He's barely 19 years old.
The thing about Cody Williams too, Jay, and you know this, he played injured a lot towards the end of the season. You saw some of those highlights. He has a mask on. He had a broken orbital bone that he was playing through towards the end of the year. I think his numbers would have been even better towards the end of the season, but that alone shows his toughness. He is so skilled, naturally gifted scorer, great handles, great first step, great floor to build on.
And now he is headed to the Utah Jazz. When we come back, Danny Hurley is going to join us right here on set, hear from him on the other side of this break. But also, we're going to take a little look back. Jay.
MJ.
There he is right there. That's when he coming back right now, only on video.
On video.
Yeah, only on video and video game.
So while we on commercial, I noticed that there was
what we got.
I noticed that there was a bit of news. Trans swimmer Leah Thompson Olympic hopes are dashed after a losing legal battle.
Oh yeah, shit. They wouldn't let him in the Olympics. That wasn't happening.
They said that she was banned from the 2024 Olympics and ordered to compete with the men.
Yeah. He ain't gonna do that because he know he ain't gonna win. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a dude trying to swim against girls. Yeah. That's what that is. I mean, biologically, he a dude. Yeah. Hey, when he was a dude, he was like the 700th swimmer in the world. So he knew he was gonna never make the Olympics. So he's like, you know what? I'm about to become a transgender. And I'm gonna be the number one woman in the world. Hey, come on, stop that. Take your ass back to the goddamn wherever the hell you was, that bullshit.
Yeah, they call it functionalism. The idea with functionalism is that if you can perform the roles, duties, functions of a particular thing, then you qualify to be that thing.
Well, he can't have no babies and he don't bleed, so that's why he ain't functional.
I guess he said he can do other things like wear certain clothes.
And he can't lactate either. So yeah, he can't happen.
I guess that means what?
That means he a dude with a swimming trunks on going against girls. That's what that means. Oh, this is Concrete Reality TV. We telling the truth, even though we talk about sports. We telling the truth. Yeah.
Hey, well, that's interesting because I'm wondering what they're going, if they ever going to allow that.
Hell no, they not. They not.
So basically, this is only a phenomenon that's in American sports.
Yep. Hey, remember this. The Olympic got more money than they do. So they ain't gonna ever win. Ever. Big bank take little bank.
And even if they tried to do that, it would open up the floodgates for worldwide chaos.
Yep, chaos. And they will never let that happen.
When you open that gate, it's gonna be crazy.
Yep. You a dude, so go swim with the dudes. Yeah.
I guess they don't recognize transgenderism.
Nope. Male and female, that's all they know.
The
binary. Regular folks.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I knew that was gonna happen. Because the Olympics is not with the shit. They ain't not with that shit. Because you know what happened? Everybody would have backed out.
Oh yeah, you'd have a lot of protesting.
Yep, they'd have lost a lot of money. And we ain't losing no money for you. Because you ain't that important. Yep, that ain't happening. That's like LeBron. That's like LeBron putting the dress on and say, I'm about to play with the women's national team. They ain't gonna let that happen either. Yeah. Come on, man.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, welcome to the off season. Well, it's still comfort. It's still comfort reality TV, goddamn it.
It's still gonna be that.
Yeah. It's definitely that. Like I believe I can fly.
The good old days.
Yep.
When he pushed off.
Yeah, he pushed off.
Hey, but it ain't cheating unless you get caught.
Yep, like they call it.
Jay, this is your 22nd draft, so you weren't quite on that one.
Boy.
I was in college.
That's that number
Hey,
one
this-
pick.
One of the most stacked draft
It
classes
would do you
ever.
regret
The
not
GM of
drafting
the Portland
Michael Jordan
Trailblazers
when
that
you had
year
the
was
chance?
Stu Inman. And he
Nope, because we wouldn't have had Elijah one.
He said draft Jordan. He said we need
So
a
you
center.
would
He
have
goes,
took
"Play
Michael
Jordan
Jordan?
center."
If you know what you know
do
now,
with
would
a
you have
talent
taken
like
Michael
Michael
Jordan or
Speaking
Hakeem
of the
Olajuwon
Chicago
at the
Bulls,
number
their
one
pick
pick?
is it.
If I knew what I know now, hell yeah.
With the 11th pick in the 2024 NBA draft, the Chicago Bulls select Matis Buzelis from Chicago and the NBA's G League team Ignite.
This is
A lot of
so
college
special
players.
for Matis Buzelis.
I mean, I'm sorry, a lot of
who grew
overseas
up
players
really
and then a
just
lot of
Yeah,
outside
but
of Chicago.
yeah, Mata Buzelis is
Hear the Bulls theme
yeah.
song
I get
playing.
chills. I get chills.
I
I'm not
get
gonna lie.
chills
Every time I hear
every
it.
single time, and I imagine he is as well. He played a myriad of sports growing up: gymnastics,
So do you
swimming,
send your
which is still
kid to
part
the
of
G
his
League to
and
make a
soccer.
little
Both his
less,
parents
a
played
lot less
professional ball in
money,
Lithuania.
or do you
And
have
he
them
told
go
our
to
Andrew
college to make
Wojnarowski
some of
that in
that?
Lithuania,
What's that?
basketball
What
is
they call that?
religion. He,
That
of
money
course,
where you
coming
get
to
the
the G
what
League
you
Ignite
know
this
about
The
that?
season,
NIL deal.
but he said
Yeah,
he
and
picked
stuff
the
that
Ignite
you know
because
about
he
real
wanted to
well.
play NBA
Well,
rules.
now
He
that
Yeah,
they
and
giving
I
it away.
NBA threes here on Grant. He wanted to
well
play against NBA veteran competition.
He wanted to be
the
challenged in
NIL
other
is
players, and I talked to him
name and likeness.
over G League Ignite
Okay,
all season.
NIL.
He said
And
Matis
a
Buzelis
name
Yeah.
and
was the
likeness.
best when it came
So
to
they
Yeah.
paying you for your
professional
name and
habits.
likeness
He
for the
picked them
duration
up
of
the
your college
easiest out of all
stay.
of those young guys, and you
Yeah,
always see
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
emotion from Matis.
But
How
all
special.
I mean,
likeness
can you imagine, Jonathan? He
is not
is
the
going
same in
home
monetary
in his home
value.
in the NBA.
Well,
Malika,
no, they're not. It's not.
Oh.
It's not at all.
searching for wing players like Matas Buzelis, 6'10" in shoes, a frame that will fill out
Dang.
significantly in time, and NBA dunk contest caliber explosiveness. He brings outstanding instincts as a rim protector, developing playmaking, creating off the bounce, passing ability, and all kinds of versatility defensively on the perimeter. Now, the big question is the jumper. He made just 27% of his threes this year. But there were some shooting indicators we've seen in previous settings. He shot 43% for three as a high school senior. Malika, NBA teams will bet on Lithuanian jeans all day. Pound for pound, it's the best. It's the top country in the basketball world. Chicago Bulls president of basketball is Arturas Karnišovas, who happens to be Lithuanian himself.
There it is.
But he was born here. He grew up in Chicago.
He was, and that's why look at the emotion that Matis Buzelis has.
He's a Bull.
for the years that
He grew up in Chicago.
Chicago. He also, his father is a physiotherapist. And this is his brother.
He look like, oh,
I mean,
okay.
look at how
He's
emotional.
crying. Man.
You've been in their shoes, Richard.
It is emotional, and it is just emotional for the entire family. And this is also the love and the work that you've all put together to watch it happen.
Matis is with Monica.
Matthias, I had an original question for you because I know you're a big time trash talker, but I want you to put words to the emotion you're feeling first.
I'm blessed, man. That's what I wanted. I wanted to be here. Thank you to the Bulls organization. I'm ready to work, man. I was born for this.
All right, so you got that out of the way. Now, as an elite trash talker, do you have a message for anybody that thought you couldn't be here? And if not, that's totally fine too.
I don't gotta say nothing. I thank everybody who doubted me. Thank you to everyone that doubted me, because I wouldn't be here without y'all. I use it as fuel, and everybody that supported me, I can't thank you enough. The support cast has been insane. So I thank you to everyone.
Tell them
Well, you know,
win an
You can stay in your
NBA. Tell them
hometown
that
of
they can't
Chicago. Enjoy the rest of the night.
Thank you so much.
yeah, tell them they can't guard you.
That is so incredible. Getting
Talk
to
shit to
stay
the
in your
NBA. Let them
hometown.
know.
Hey, the problem is, this is the problem. Chicago haven't drafted well in the last 4 or 5 drafts.
The entire
All they draft
family,
been
but we
bust.
had this right here on Grant. This is what draft night is
Yeah.
all about.
I guess if you
started
want to
tearing
pick a
up
team
watching
that
this.
Yes,
make some
watching
bad
them
decisions
and the
in draft,
interviews are absolutely
Chicago
fantastic.
Bulls.
definitely is
I'm
up
glad
there.
we are
God,
on video
God.
for a
Yeah.
while, so I
Yeah.
can
They
put
make
together
dumb
every
decisions
time. I'm
and
just so
trade.
happy
for all of these
Free-
guys.
free
And his
agency.
brother,
Yep.
It's as if they're
When is
sharing.
the
This
la-
is a
have
moment for
they-
the entire
when's the last
family.
time they
don't
actually-
understand. If you are one of the 30
see,
that are
who's they-
selected,
last time
your
they made the
entire
playoffs?
family had to send you to IMG. There are players that have to leave their families and go to other countries. The amount of commitment that is needed for you to get here and the amount of support. And when you watch this, how many players have we
Bulls
seen
ain't been to
drafted
the
that have
playoffs since
family members, brothers,
2014,
other people involved?
God
It takes a
damn.
community to make these things happen.
That's a long time,
He
dog.
was the one that got drafted. The brother,
He
like
did.
that's how excited
He
he
did
gets.
get drafted.
You're right.
We saw the same thing with Alex Sarr. Alex Sarr
We'll take
was
that back. I'm
emotional
sorry.
because he was here and saw his brother's name not called. He was emotional for his brother.
Yeah.
So it's just,
Let me
I can't
see.
express enough.
Last time Chicago
He'll
Bulls
cry
made the playoffs was in
multiple years after seeing this and
2021-22,
remembering
where
this
they were
moment.
eliminated by the
Comes from a
Bucks in the
family
first
of
round.
athletes.
Okay,
His grandfather
so
was
they
a basketball player. His
before that it
grandmother
had
was an
been since
all-time great
2014,
Lithuanian
2015.
handball player, one of the all-time greats. And you can see just how much this
Last
means
time
to
they won
the
a championship was
entire family. And this is
1998.
something that
Of course,
we've been sitting up here for several years now.
that
And I
man,
don't mean this as
Mhm.
hyperbole when I
that
say it's one of
bad
my
man.
favorite nights of the year. And this is why, because how often do you see what you work for years and years
I don't think
come
they
to
gonna win
fruition
one
in
no
a
time
single
soon.
instant?
Nope.
A dream that is realized. And how
I hope the kids do well, but they draft record ain't too good.
can't emphasize enough how special that is.
Oh, I promise you, on my draft day, I get drafted by Houston, then I get traded to New Jersey.
I hated
not
that one.
happy. I'm just not gonna be
Who's
really
that
honest. I
talking?
didn't know much about Jersey. The next
Richard
day,
Jefferson?
I get a phone call saying that they traded for
man.
Jason Kidd.
That
There
was
other
horrible.
players to be named. So in my brain,
Yeah.
I'm like, I either get to play with Jason Kidd or I get to play with the Phoenix Suns. So when you get the opportunity to play close to home, to have your family, that means you have even more support around you to help this journey, because the journey's just beginning. This is not the end of the journey. This is the beginning of it.
Well, speaking of emotion, I got drafted in the 5th round by Dallas, and they asked me if I spoke Italian. So that I cried heavy that night.
Because you
But they would send his ass to injury.
Over exactly. They would send him back home.
joins Iowa
Be like, you ain't even playing over here. We just gonna hold you.
Chicago-born
Great,
player
mate.
drafted by
Yeah, we gonna stuff your ass away. You better speak Italian, goddammit.
And now the Oklahoma City Thunder, the #1 seed in the
Hey,
Western Conference.
they draft well.
A cajillion
They draft well.
billion picks
I like them.
are on the clock, and now the pick, it is in. See, this is what Sam Presti's a
Okay,
pro.
so they got
This is
it's
what-
Carlton
Here we
Carrington
go.
left.
Get us out of here on
See
time.
who is headed to OKC.
They gonna get a big. They gonna get a big. Watch, some versatile out of Indiana. Take the boy out of Indiana.
12th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder select Nikola Topic from
Okay.
Belgrade, Serbia, and Serbia's
Point guard.
Sabina Zaveda.
Ooh, they took a point guard.
Pitch.
God damn.
EuroLeague debut.
So who
at
they got
just
as starting point
16
guard
years
now?
old. Our Jonathan Gavoni, as he thank
Uh,
you so much, and shares this moment with his family, compares him
God
to
damn.
a LaMelo Ball.
Bridges?
He has a partially torn ACL. He
Oh.
suffered
Oh,
the
Halliburton.
injury in January. He missed 4 months. Then he returned to
Oh.
played 3 games and re-injured the same knee. But
Oh, damn.
for him,
Oh.
after going through all of that, you can imagine just what this moment means as he greets his future
Oh, they
teammate
got
on
Josh
Oklahoma City.
Giddy.
Just so special. I mean,
They traded him. He gone.
That could run a
Oh,
master
dang.
class when it comes to executing the pick and roll. He's patient with the ball in his hands. He'll get
Only-
defenders
yeah,
on
okay,
his
so that's
back.
why
He
they
can
needed him,
change
because the only
speeds.
boy they got
He's not
left is
super
Case
quick,
and
but the
Wallace.
way he changes speeds,
Mm.
he's able to manipulate defenders so well.
Yeah,
Ain't
he's
got
the
no
best
point
passer
guard.
in the draft, and he
Mm.
needs separation, not through being explosive as a point guard.
Oh well,
Mm.
dang.
Dang.
Doing it with his skill level and passing, playmaking. He's got it. Like he's been injured. That's the problem. You're gonna have to wait on him for a while in order for him to get healthy. But he's got a fluid handle. Really, really good passer.
And let's bring back in our Jonathan Gavoni
Boy,
here.
overseas
Jonathan, how much
players
time do we
taking
expect
over
him
the
to miss?
draft.
What do you notice
How
about
many
Yeah.
is that?
Yeah, about
I wouldn't
6.
expect to see Nikola Topic on an NBA court in the next season, summer league in a
I'm
year
still
from
curious,
now.
man, if this gonna be a trend, because
But this is the best pick and roll playmaker in this
that
draft
seems like what
class.
the
He
league
can make
had been
every
trying to
read
do.
and
They were
pass
trying
under
to
the sun.
Go
At
global.
6'7" in
yeah,
shoes
and then
18
use the
years old.
global
Pocket passes,
element
skips,
as
blocks, weak side,
their
strong side. He sprays the ball all over the floor with
ground for
incredible timing
maturing
and
players.
precision. He's not just a
Hey,
great
you know what
passer,
else
he's
too?
also a powerful
That's why they put the
force,
zone in there,
driving to the paint
because they
and
can't hold.
skillfully through
So they ain't got to worry about guarding nobody
We're all
man to
looking forward to
man.
seeing Nikola Topic on an NBA floor, but we're
So
going to
basically,
be
overseas is gonna be the new college.
Well, and we've
Yep.
seen rookies miss
That
their
in the G
entire
League.
first year. Chet Holmgren,
That in the G League.
Jr., Joel Embiid, for various reasons, come to mind. But he now joins just a decorated roster of Serbian players in the NBA. But say it with me, Richard. Nikola Jokic, Nikola
all of them. They got all of them Nicholas.
We're going to be working with all of those on the game broadcast this year, baby.
I'm going to say Nikola.
Serbia,
That's what I'm
boy,
gonna
they
say a
coming
lot,
in
just
with it.
Not to mess it up. Look, we know
Man.
we know about that. But
Them Serbians, boy.
Serbia is one of those countries that just generate so many talented players, and it just, especially that entire region, Lithuania, Serbia, Croatia. It is so impressive the amount of basketball talent from that region.
And now we have a very special guest joining us here on set, UConn coach Dan Hurley. You can exhale now.
He
Thank
got
you
his
so much
players
for
out.
spending a little bit of time. You elected to be in the green room for
He
this.
still got-
with the players
he still got
on the
one.
NBA side of all this,
Who's
and now
that?
you have 2 top 7 picks in this draft.
The small
It's
forward.
like watching them go through this, even though you've been here so many times before.
Yeah, amazing, really, and just with those 2 families.
He
those
still got
2
one more
children,
left.
Just such incredible people, and you just think of what they've done for UConn basketball, and now they get their own personal payout. Everybody won. We won championships, and now they live their dream.
I wanted to ask you specifically about Donovan Clingan, because I know he's a player. Recruiting him was very, very special for you. Staying close to home was special for him. What was it like to see him go so high and rise up the draft boards like this?
Well, I mean, he was from Bristol, and if we didn't get him, my whole staff was getting fired. Right? They were all out, and just he's an incredible young man. Obviously, he anchored, the best offense in the country, and he anchored the best defense in the country. And it's just so cool to see him going to Portland. I know Portland loves him, and I know there was another really big, great center that played there in Bill Walton, so it's exciting.
Told you. I knew it.
Defensively,
Bill Walton shit.
Castle. When he came back from injury, it seemed like he and Clingan helped you guys go from being a really good defensive team to truly elite. What does he bring to the NBA?
Yeah, I mean, with Steph, he just an incredible lockdown defender. When we needed him, in different games to be a scorer, he was our leading scorer at the Final Four. But then when we needed him to be a defensive stopper, he locked up some of the best scorers in the country. When we needed him to facilitate, he created for others. And then, when he wasn't doing that, he was all over the glass. So, I think you're getting a guy who's a 6'6" Drew Holiday type of player.
Coach, you talked about Stephon Castle and how no one impacted winning, and he did it.
They gotta take a shooter.
No one did it the way he did as a freshman. How would you describe his preparedness and his maturity?
Well, with Quan and Stacy, when you got parents like that, it makes the coach's job really, really easy. And they weren't fans. They were great parents, and just old school values. And the kids got incredible work ethic, and just probably couldn't be a better fit organizationally for him. They value championships and winners and workers, and that's exactly what he is.
Dan Hurley, we always appreciate this annual chat that we have here on the set at the draft. Thank you so much for joining us. We wish you the best of luck in the three-peat pursuit. Let's see who the Sacramento Kings have selected.
With the 13th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Sacramento Kings select Devin Carter from Providence College.
Providence College.
The hell he got on?
Devin Carter, just incredibly high basketball IQ.
Okay.
He was the Big East Player of the Year. He led the Big East in scoring this year, just a little bit under 20 points a game.
Oh, his daddy,
father,
Anthony Carter?
Played 13
Oh, dang.
seasons in the NBA and is currently an assistant for the Memphis Grizzlies.
You sure
He
that's
says
his
the
kid?
biggest thrill in sports
Yeah, he can play.
Game winner.
They don't look nothing
Sacramento
like.
Kings know something about electric offense, Jay, and
Maybe I
hitting
gotta
those
look
type of
at
big
him.
shots.
He's one of the best athletes in this draft. Super athletic, incredibly active, and really productive. And Dan Hurley was just talking about Stephon Castle. Devin Carter is also a high-level defender, and he's a
All
great
right.
guard
Well,
rebounder. He's
Sacramento
top
done
10 in
picked
the
up.
country in defensive rebounds. As
Sacramento trying to win, too.
3, but he's got almost a 6'9" wingspan. He is tough. He's competitive, and he doesn't have.
There goes Pops back there.
But with his
Yeah, I
athleticism
saw.
and motor, and with his agility, he can really impact the game on the defensive end, getting deflections, block shots. He makes things happen as a defensive playmaker. And you mentioned him, Malik. He averaged 20 points a game as well.
Not to mention,
Dang.
as a curly girl, big fan of the hair. Let's take a look at tonight's prospect resume. It is brought to us by Indeed here, Andrea.
Devin
They got a lot
Carter.
of-
First of all, amazing last name. Let's just give him credit for the best last name, but
Hey,
also
Mr. Carter.
one of the best two-way guards. His defensive versatility and the intensity he plays with on that side of the ball, just under 2 steals a game. He is so active. He's an aggressive scorer. I like to call him a persistent scorer. You just can't stop him when he's pursuing the rim, when he's attacking the paint. And my biggest thing with him is the way he improved his game. 2 seasons ago, 30% from beyond the arc. This past season, 38% from beyond the arc. Jay, you mentioned his rebounding as a guard. He attacks the defensive glass and then he pushes in transition. A ridiculous athlete. His hops, 42-inch vertical at the top of the draft. His speed as well. He brings a ton to the NBA court. He is NBA ready.
He makes winning plays. I mean, he
Yeah.
impacts winning. Started his career at South Carolina, transferred to Providence, where he was the first Big East Player of the Year in
Oh, yeah, I
Providence.
guess that is him.
That's what?
Look here
That's
at
why I guess
some of his
nasty as daddy in the
measurables
face.
taken, of course, at the
Yeah.
NBA draft combine.
Well, when you talk about
He got he got that O fade, and that's why you can't tell.
that allows one your hand, that allows you to be players, that allows you to extend your arms, that allows you so many different things. So when people look at height, wingspan, yeah, great wingspan, but it's in that comparison to your height. Those are the things that are like little measurables that allow players to get it.
There's a lot of good players left.
And now you're seeing that the Portland Trailblazers, they are on the clock, but actually this pick is headed to Washington. So let's bring in Avery Wojnarowski. Woj, what are the details of this trade here?
Oh, shit.
Malika, Washington is sending Denny Advia, sharp shooting forward to the Blazers. They send back Malcolm Brogdon, the 14th pick here in the draft. Washington also drafted Alex Sarr at number 2, a 2029 first-round pick, and 2 second-round picks. This is a Portland team that gets better with Advia, but Washington, they're in a full
The hell
rebuild
is
right
Denny
now.
Advia?
And you're going to see them
No, no.
probably in the lottery again next year and the year after.
Well,
Is they
that's
do
top
something that
14.
hasn't been done in a very
After
long
this,
time
I'm
there.
cutting it down.
Gonna take this
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
to the studs, but
That sound good.
Washington
That's the
now,
lottery.
they get another pick in this first round. Denny Advia, though, on his way to the Blazers.
Denny Avdia on his way to the Blazers. Woj, thank you very much. So behind us, you see that the Portland Trailblazers are on the clock, and we wanted to take a look at some notable draft anniversaries that we're seeing here. And even
They
though
terrible.
yes, this pick is heading to Washington, it is
Who,
the 50th
Portland?
anniversary of
Yeah.
the great Bill Walton, a personality who was larger than life. He was so.
I told you they thought the white boy was the next Bill Walton.
Incredibly special relationship.
I still get emotional talking about it. He meant so much to me as a mentor, as a father figure. And also when you just watched how he lived.
Yeah,
his
him
life,
and
he
Walt played together at Arizona.
He recognized that the game of basketball changed his life. And anytime he met someone, he was not afraid to share that story about the game of basketball, about working with John Wooden, about all of the injuries that he went through, and also about his love for broadcasting and talking about this game. So this is an amazing anniversary, and I'm so happy to celebrate him and his family. And the tribute that they did with the Boston Celtics was amazing.
Anytime you would talk to Bill Walton, you would say, how are you doing? And most people kind of blow that off. And he says, you know what? I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I'm certain that that's how these draftees feel tonight.
14th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Portland Trailblazers select Bub Carrington from the University of Pittsburgh.
Who the hell is Bub?
Carlton
That's interesting.
Carrington. Fans in Washington, even though Portland is picking, are going to be calling him Bub. He is the third, so the nickname Bub stuck.
Okay,
And
go.
this
He's
is
a
the guy
guard.
who had a triple-double in his college debut. His father, who comes from a basketball family, is a prominent figure in the Baltimore AAU scene, having coached players like Will Barton, Carmelo Anthony. And you can just see how much this means to him, sharing this with his entire family.
All right, Coach. I'm about to shut it down.
They're really going to
Hey,
the
hey,
next level.
we out of here, baby.
I'm sure he's
Concrete
going to
Reality
listen to
TV. Make
this
sure
with
you
him
hit that
Washington.
like and
But Jay,
subscribe
what else
button.
are they getting?
And as always,
Jeff Capel
peace.
there, Carlton Carrington.